Hi, guys, welcome back. All right, so let's go ahead and jump on into a bonus general message. I actually recorded one already, and it's going to take some time before it's done processing, so that'll probably have to come out tomorrow, but that's all right. We just roll with it as it goes. By the way, later on this evening, I will be doing other zodiacs. And I did do a collective message for the Wolf Moon on my other channel. You might want to check that one out also. That's up and available right now on Tarot Dog, and there's a free link to Tarot Dog in the description box. So let us begin, shall we? Yellow Rose, friendship. I love you. Well, to start out with the color yellow, I love yellow myself. Um, but the fact that it's starting out with this concept of friendship, I love you as a, in a friendship manner, that could, I don't know why I'm putting that there, I like to keep them down, that could indicate that we are starting out a storyline that begins with, I would say, a really important aspect of any kind of a connection. Hopefully love is going to be based on friendship and trust and camaraderie before it even moves anywhere else. We have a King of Pentacles in the reverse, and we have the Ace of Pentacles upright. This could be a lot of things, so hold on, because I got to first ask, tell me about the King of Pentacles in the reverse. Seven of Cups. We have a character, this could be a King of Pentacles, whether they're masculine or feminine. Hey, Miss Hermit, whether they're masculine or feminine is irrelevant, but they are confused. They're not feeling very good about themselves right now. We got a Queen of Cups upright for them. We have a Ten of Pentacles, and we have a King of Swords in the reverse. Oh boy. I'm still trying to figure out which part they're confused about. They're showing up now as two different kings. And in regards to someone who they view as being very beautiful, very well connected, very surrounded by people that love her. Maybe they see her as, oh, everybody loves her. Everybody loves that freaking mermaid. She's amazing. She got good friends, got good family, well respected in her community. Everybody loves her. And here I am over here, two versions of a king, both in the reverse, kind of confused about, how would I have a new beginning with somebody where I view myself as this king in the reverse in every way. I don't have money. I don't think they've been talking to her either, but I think that they're in their mind, they're like, I probably, maybe she would be friends with me, but that's probably all we could be. Even if I love her, probably she would only be friends with someone like me. So they're totally undercutting themselves, which anytime we see, multiple cards of them being kings, but continuously being in the reverse, I don't look at this as like, oh, they're tyrannical, oh, they're in terrible energy. More like they look at themselves as not being enough. And it's like, I want so badly to be like, no, come on, let's get you upright. Come on. Why are you thinking so bad about yourself? Where did that come from? Why is this king feeling so poorly about themselves that they think probably the best they could ever get from somebody as amazing as her is friendship? Why are they thinking so poorly of themselves? Princess of Swords. They're looking poorly at themselves. Queen of Swords in the reverse. Okay. So this is a story right now of, doesn't have to be a masculine, but they did show up as two kings. So we'll refer to them as a masculine. This king in the reverse feels poorly about themselves because of what they gathered from the way they were mistreated by a very bitter Queen of Swords. Now, here's the thing, this Queen of Swords in the reverse probably didn't feel very good about themselves. It's like they had the misfortune of having a previous, probably long-term commitment with someone, and it brought out the worst in both of them. They were a perfectly matched toxic pair. They might have scrambled each other's brains a little bit, because this is not clear thinking at all. This is not fair. This is not logical. This is not kind. This is, frustration, inability to communicate and hear and listen and communicate smoothly. And if that's what they were immersed in, it's kind of like this person is like still shell shocked from that. So that's what they learned. What they learned the wrong lesson. Instead of saying, "Man, I was really in a toxic situation. I'm so glad I learned what toxic looks like, so now I don't have to repeat that." They might have walked away from a toxic situation with someone, but they remain in this vision of themselves, like they haven't yet seen themselves in a different light, other than this kind of jumbled up, mixed up, frustrated. I feel like this person has trouble expressing themselves, but I feel like whomever they were with previously did also. So it could have really created a disaster with communication skills. And that, communication is tough. How do we express ourselves? I mean, I'll tell you, as this is great exercise for my brain and my vocabulary, but it's not easy, especially when I do these videos live. I only got one shot to spit it out of my mouth, hopefully the right way. And because it's all improv and I don't have any clue what's coming next, it's extremely, like, there are days where I'm tired from my other work and I don't have the creative flow and my brain isn't sharp enough to do it. So those are days I don't put out a lot of videos because I'm like, I can't find the right words. I can't see the story because it's hard to communicate. It's or at least I find it taxing. Um, so I can understand how a character who went through particularly a relationship that was unbalanced, unkind, and communication and understanding were the primary components that were missing. No wonder they still have this really negative viewpoint of themselves, what they bring to the table. They only have the pattern of that negative, unpleasant situation that they were in. That's where they still are up here. So it makes sense that they're like, well, even though I see somebody really beautiful and somebody that, you know, she just flows like a river, and her relationships seem easy. And I don't know, how are they looking at her though and seeing all of that? We also still haven't even talked about that Ace of Pentacles yet, but how are they looking at her? How is it that they see her? Probably going to change decks in a second. Three of Swords, the Magician, the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so how are they looking at her? And when I said how, what I mean is, like, are they spying on her? Well, this says it might be more like they are thinking about her from the heart space. That Three of Swords is, you notice that we have a frozen tundra and we have this innocent little rose here. And I think she got caught in the crossfire. I think that if anything, they may know that they really hurt her, yet they were trying so hard to manifest her. At this point, they may realize more than ever that they want to manifest her, that they need to. Okay, so let me put it this way, because this is Demeter and she's goddess of the earth. In the Greek mythology about Demeter, it's a story of the loss, the quest, and the ascension. So Demeter's daughter Persephone gets stolen away and taken down to Hades, and Demeter goes mad with grief and she stops tending to the earth, and that's her job, right? She's the goddess of the earth. So she ignores the earth and it turns into this frozen tundras. It lays fallow, and she is just searching everywhere. All she cares about is trying to find her daughter again. And eventually her daughter is able to be returned from Hades, at least for chunks of time. She does have to return for different seasons. And every time that happens, even though Demeter has her daughter back and she's so happy, and so then she tends to the earth again, and it, is abundant. When her daughter has to go back down to Hades for those couple months, she stops tending to the earth, and we go into the seasonal change. We go into winter time again. So it's the explanation as to why we have the seasons, right, in the mythology story. What I'm going to say is there was a season for sure that they didn't tend or maybe give anything to her, probably because they were embroiled in either their own mental prison with what they went through because of the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords energy that they had experienced at one point in time. At this point, they they would like very much to manifest like a productive time. And the universe is actually in favor of this productive time. Yet, there is this acknowledgement that as much as they feel like I want to manifest a productive time, maybe she'll only be friends with me, even though I love her. But this frozen tundra time, this time when they lost her, or this time when they disappeared out of her world, when they went down to Hades, and she's the one who was left here in the frozen tundra. Can they fix that? Can they thaw that time out? Can that happen? Now it makes sense why we have the question mark of the new beginning. In their mind, they're not hoping for her to like take them back. They think maybe if they could come in with the yellow rose of friendship, but even here we have white roses, right? There was something, I think we have yellow rose on that first card. And we've talked about her as a rose, someone who they viewed as innocent. She got hurt. And I'm going to say she got hurt by them because of the situation that they were dealing with. And at this point, what is making them want to come back into her life right now? I mean, obviously the Wheel of Fortune is there, so it's the right time. But what is making them want to come back into her life? Really, the hope for a Ten of Cups, the Action of Pentacles, the Temperance, Sag energy. The problematic situation that they were in with the King and Queen of Swords in the reverse. I don't know how that situation has ended, only that it has. And they are finally hoping, even though it's kind of like they themselves say, I don't really have a right to hope that she would love me again, even though I love her, because I left her in a frozen tundra. I quit tending to her. I quit tending to this earth at all and disappeared. And she was innocent and she got really hurt because I left her out in a frozen tundra. I do feel like there was abandonment in this story and they know it. And that's why they're saying, maybe I can come in at least and try to offer friendship, but that's not what they want. She's their Ten of Cups. They would wish that maybe over time they could create balance with her again. Let me just ask, from their perspective, why did the Three of Swords happen? Why did they get sucked into this situation with the Queen of Swords? Was it just their mindset? Or were they actually dealing with the Queen of Swords? That's what I can't figure out. We have, it could have been a mindset. We have Five of Wands. We have Seven of Cups. They abandoned this connection because of previous traumas that they dealt with when they were dealing with a Queen and a King of Swords. You know what? Maybe this is their parental scenario. Maybe this character had a bunch of stuff that they had to clear out of their own heart space because of having been around a very toxic family unit even. But it says no, they didn't disappear on this Queen of Cups because they were still dealing with some other relationship. It was a relationship in their own head. These two cards say it was their mind. It was not an actual person that they were dealing with, but they definitely up and abandoned that Queen of Cups because of their inner relationship with their, body, mind, and soul. This is over analyzing stuff again and again. This one, sorry, again and again. I can't tell. The camera is in that reverse mode and I can't see it. I don't know what my left or my right hand is anymore. With this Seven of Cups here, again, the confusion. We've seen them with confusion twice. They continuously are in a state of being unsure. They were unsure before of could they really be with the Queen of Cups when they seem to have viewed themselves as so broken. Now they're unsure, could I ever get the Queen of Cups back? Even though I finally feel better about myself, but now I realize I caused her hurt. So I basically took my wounds and then, well, as we can see, these wounds bled all over her. Okay, so, and yet she's the one that they want. Why are they coming in saying friendship, yellow rose? That's how we started this, right? Embodiment of Pentacles upright and the Justice card upright. So once again, they're coming in as a King of Pentacles, but this time in the upright. They're saying, I don't know if she'll see me as somebody that has anything to offer her other than friendship. It would be fair if she says get lost. Um, it maybe they presented themselves like they were really stable the first time they met her, which was not true. Remember, they were a King of Pentacles in the reverse. We saw that as the second card out. So if they didn't really believe that they could offer anything, but then they acted like they could in the past, I can see why at this point they're thinking if she would let me in as a friend, that's probably the best I could ever hope for, because it's not really fair for me to think that she's going to change her mind about me just because now I show up, even if I am really ready to give. I doubt she's going to believe that, and it would be fair that she didn't. However, we have the Two of Cups combined with the Five of Swords, combined with the Nine of Cups, combined with the Inspiration of Wands. And yet, despite all this, we have them still saying, but I never let go of her, even though, man, this has been pretty wrecked. She probably doesn't want to hear that. She probably has had to go off and make her own life good, and she's maybe has put up a boundary with me. They see her as doing really, really well. It's just, if anything, she might even have the impression that, oh, they're only coming back in because they want my success, and I don't want them to have any part of it. They could be assuming that she's going to basically, especially if they come in and say, I love you, you're my Two of Cups, she's going to be like, you lying Saka, you know what? You're coming back because you think I got golden eggs. You think I'm rich. You think I'm successful. That's all you want from me. You get lost. So they are kind of coming in also because they already know, what is she going to think of me? I abandoned this because I was a mess. Now I'm coming back in, but during a time when she's doing awesome. And now she's going to believe that, oh, I love you so much. I've always been a Two of Cups. I can see why to their credit, they can see how bad this would look to anybody else's eyes. That it would be like, oh, you opportunist. You're coming, you pretended to be somebody that was solid before you really weren't. You split, you left me out in the cold. Now I'm doing great. Now you come in and, oh, you'll love me so much. Like, I can see where they're imagining like how it would look to her eyes. So they better not be coming in with a big old love offer, is what they're thinking. They would have to first prove themselves to actually just be a friend. They can't come in and ask her for more than that. How's that going to go? How's that going to go? If this character comes in to try to build a friendship, Death card in the reverse, Scorpio energy. I mean, on one hand, that could be really good because it says, okay, maybe it's not over. Nine of Cups, Eight of Pentacles. You know, she may allow them to, like, they're thinking if she allows them into her life under the, like, could we talk once in a while? They're thinking they could work on perhaps proving to her and getting into a friendship zone where maybe she could get to know them again, and they wouldn't be pushing for her. She can stay single, like, and she might be saying, I would definitely, don't even ask me for, will I date you again? They certainly don't ask me for any kind of loyalty. I'm my own person. I don't answer your questions, nothing. You know, there's this energy here of, I'm happy with my life. Don't you dare ask me to somehow give my loyalty or my time or my energy to you. And their response to all this would be, that's why I don't want to come in and ask her for romance. I haven't got the right to ask her for that. But if there's any unfinished business here, maybe it's that if I could work on showing her that I'm a different person than who I used to be, that's going to take some time. And it probably can't happen if there's romance involved. What's she thinking of them at this point? Because we never even asked that. Temperance in the reverse, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, Three of Pentacles in the reverse. She's not thinking anything. about this situation. She just says, it's not something I can afford to think about. That was a loss. That was a lot of investment. And maybe one point in time, you notice that we had what should have been a paired couple, right? A king and a queen of pentacles. Didn't work out, didn't go that way. So in her mind, she's like, I don't think about that. I don't talk about that. They didn't give. I stopped giving. It was a lot of wasted energy on my part. So it was not fair. It was not balanced. I had to stop. So she doesn't really think about it. Is she going to be surprised for them to be showing back up? Nine of Swords and the Star, very mixed emotions. On one hand, it's a lot of stress. And on the other hand, it's the potential for a ton of healing. And secretly, deep down, it could be something she's wished for, but told herself, I'm not even going to think about it because that's ridiculous. A lot of stress, though, around this. It's like, oh, God, now I got to open up that can of worms. Does she actually want to deal with this again? Let's go on a deep dive for just a second. Let's ask the universe. Does she actually want to deal with this person? Deep down. King of Swords. She wants some answers. She wants some truth. She wants to see. Maybe she even wants to see, what do they look like if they're actually healed? Because at this point, she may know they definitely were not a healed person. She may have come to that conclusion. And maybe she's like, first and foremost, I would just like them to be honest. I'd like to see what an honest version of them looks like. Fair enough. This is not about emotions. This is more like, do they even have what it takes to be truthful about a situation? So she does want to hear them out. She wants to hear them speak. The Seven of Wands sideways. We got the Four of Wands upright. It's funny how there's a piece of her that says, she's kind of a realist, saying, oh, it was awful. It was a whole awful situation. Maybe she knew darn well that she was dealing with somebody wounded, or it became apparent after the fact. And although she's not necessarily saying, oh, I'm sure that they're my perfect person, they just needed to hurry up and heal and then get back to me. She's more like, well, I'd like to know what they are as a whole person. There's no guarantee, but somewhere deep down, she always thought we really could have been something. I mean, she wouldn't have ever signed up for something in the first place unless she thought it could have worked, and then it was a disaster. But if deep down, it's like, I thought that they were the Four of Wands for me. So if things were different, if this person were healed, I don't know what's still possible. This says, I'm not going to block it, but I'm also not putting my money on it. And I'm not a gambler, so I'm not going to risk anything and lose it all. So she's not blocking, but she's not hoping either that somehow it's going to be magnificent and all she ever wanted. I think she thought that once upon a time, and it was a big old, flop. But at this point, if they were a healed person, someone who could be true and honest about, and really be the real version of themselves, a healed version, then a lot of things would still be possible, perhaps. This is not there's no slam dunk, there's no sure thing on this, probably because she's too much of a realist to do that. But she's also a realist in the sense that when people are wounded and hurt, it's a train wreck. I mean, that's just how it is. I think it's a very mature look at a bad situation. Dealing with someone who was still very either traumatized by something. They were not going to be able to be a partner when they're in that energy. And there's just the acceptance of that. Is it perfect? No. Is it the way we want it to go? No. Does the story have, any okay, well, these are the rules of engagement and they need to be followed? No, because really, real life is messier than that too, But there's a chance for some new start. And that's where I think we'll end this one. Let's get one last card on that. Universe, what do you got to say about this new beginning? Eight of Swords. So the universe, and I'm sorry, I got to read whatever comes out. I'm not saying this to offend or anything like that. Please know these are fictional stories about fictional characters. But the universe says, to some extent, these two have actually been I'll say unable to move on from this until they could look at what a new start would be like. I'm not saying they didn't continue to grow, because obviously she has. Obviously they've done a lot of growth. but there has always been a piece of their lives that have been secretly on hold or waiting for a chance to at least sit down and see, could we restart as friends, or could we get closure that's appropriate, or could we start this over again and have it all. The new beginning is here because they have to get out of this stuck energy. They've got to figure out what they're going to do with each other. It's been a long time coming. And there has been some kind of secret stuck energy for quite a while on this. And I think it hasn't really been acknowledged, because it's something under the surface. It's, it's that memory that stays, because these are thoughts. And it's like, as long as there's some thought that remains, then it's an unclosed, unfinished storyline or an unfinished symphony. And it's like, I, I had the funniest thing. My little niece, I'm not good about watching TV stuff, and I enjoy entertainment and stuff, but I don't usually sit down and like watch a series of something. If I do, I got to be really, really into it. So what I prefer is for other people to watch stuff and then tell me about it, and then I'll decide if I want to watch it. And it drives people in my life crazy that I operate that way. But I'm like, then I didn't waste a couple hours. And so I have a niece who, she and I were watching. I had started watching some of it anyway, some sci-fi thing. And then I was like, I don't have time to finish it. So just tell me what happened. And we have had this hilarious stalemate. She will not tell me. It's been going on for 5-6 years now. I've never finished watching it, and the girl will not tell me what happened. And it's been like this hilarious source of contention between us for years now. And not real contention, obviously. But I feel like I'm always going to, because now I just want her to bend and tell me. And she's like, nope, Aunt Kate, I'm not doing it. And until I know the answer to it, yet I could do the thing that I should do and just watch it myself. No, now I really want her to tell me. And she just won't. And it's hilarious because she's the most stubborn and proud and strong little thing ever. And I love that about her. And I don't want her to change. So it's more of a joke. But I won't watch it. She has to tell me someday she's going to crack. I just know it. But I feel like as long as there's still that question mark, because I don't know what happened at the end. And I want to know. But we don't have a final symphony yet. But in this case, it's kind of a happy, just joke that runs between us that's going to last for years. And that's why it gets funnier all the time that we're not solving the mystery. Whereas in this storyline, they need to solve the mystery. This is not as simple as not finishing watching a television program, right? This is something where that will continue to exist until they finally address it. Until I either watch it or until my niece tells me the answer, there will still be this thing that we will, every time we see each other, well, and I'll try to slip it in on, so how's school? How's this? How's that? How'd that movie end? She just won't say it. I can't make her slip up. So anyway, you guys, I'm going to leave that one there. Thank you for hanging out with me. Lots of love to you guys. Take care. And I'll see you guys again later on this evening, and we'll do some zodiacs. Okay. You guys are so fun. So fun. Abundance 23. I have been outside, and this is what happens when it's like little rainy, little windy. And so thank you for accepting the messy me, and thank you for your very kind, very kind message. You guys are awesome. Bye.